I'll just introduce myself really quickly. I'm Danny. Thank you so much for keeping in contact with me. I am the Cal Poly San Luis Obispo College Core Fellow for Ecologistics. So I've just been working under Stacy, and she tasked me with doing these incubation stations, which I'm really excited to do. And I've been talking to a bunch of the sponsored organizations. So I was really happy I got to talk to you. She was most excited actually about your interview. Um,
Cool.
she really loves what you guys do over there at the Climate Film Festival. It's like one of her favorite things to talk about. So, enough about me. I would love to hear about you. Like, please introduce yourself. Uh, please introduce Climate Film Festival, and like what brought you together with that project right now.
Great. Yeah, I'm Alec. I am co-founder and executive director of the Climate Film Festival. Other co-founder is English Cook, Jay English Cook. We are married. That's how this got started.
Oh,
So my background is in climate to some extent. I started my career in technology and then in 2020 made a very intentional kind of career pivot into working on climate related projects. So I started working on a renewable energy company. I worked for a company doing building decarbonization and kind of cool, like deep tech stuff, and have built a community around kind of people who are also working on climate solutions. And done as I made this transition, I sort of learned the power of community. English, my co-founder, is really coming from an arts background. So she is finishing right now. It will be done in a couple weeks. Her PhD in art history at NYU, and her focus is on cinema and architecture. So she has a museum background. She's done programming for the Architecture Film Festival, but has also been on fellowship at the Whitney Museum of Art in New York, has been at MoMA, has worked in the Venice Biennale, has been at the High Museum in Atlanta. So really, we kind of combined our two interests and passions in this idea for the Climate Film Festival, which, sort of emerged as a conversation between the two of us and then really took on life as we threw it out into the world and saw if anyone wanted to join us and create it with us. So we've had this amazing founding team of volunteers. We had 10 founding volunteers. Now our core volunteer team is up to about 20 people who are kind of involved with us year round. For the festival itself, we had 100 volunteers last year. It was a lot of people.
wow.
Yeah. So it's much more than just the two of us. Like we kicked it off, but it's really going. So it's been so cool to see. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy to continue the film fest spiel, but that's me.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations. That's
Thank you.
fantastic. And let your partner know congratulations as well. It's a big accomplishment. Um,
Um,
um, so when do you do the film festival? What exactly is your mission surrounding it?
yeah,
How many viewers do you usually get a year?
yeah. So we actually see this as a year-round organization. So we have the Anchor Annual Film Festival, which is in September in New York City.
Mhm.
And that is the opening weekend of Climate Week New York City, which is at the same time as the UN General Assembly and is a major event on the international climate calendar. Hundreds of thousands of people come to town. There are dozens of conferences at the same time, and almost nothing cultural. There's more, like it's creeping up, but we're really trying to bring kind of storytelling and film and deeper and more public discussion to climate. So we're doing that with film. That's the festival. I will talk more about that. We also do year-round programming. Our year-round programming, we do programs that are a lot more lightweight, kind of throughout the year with other organizations that are working in the climate space. So they might be cultural organizations, actually, that don't necessarily have anything to do with climate, or they may be like environmental justice groups or other types of nonprofits that are, again, kind of working with the space. So we worked with one that does environmental justice around extreme heat called We Act. We've done one with Rethink Food, which is a obviously food-based nonprofit with Waterfront Alliance. We did a screening on a boat on fossil-free shipping. We've done ones on public health with NYU on the cultural legacy of coal in Appalachia with Asia Society, which had a different exhibition on coal and ice and kind of the coal in China. So it's an interesting like cross-cultural blend. So we really do these screenings with kind of throughout the year with existing organizations, bring people together, have a panel, ideally with filmmaker and experts, and it's a good time. So our mission is really to see to create a platform for more of these films, right? We've got a nice mission statement on our website that I can't quote verbatim, but I wish I could. But we want to create a platform for innovative and creative climate storytelling, really with this kind of vision that more of it and a broader conversation is really essential to cultural change, right? And that cultural change precedes political change, right? And we're stuck so much in these different tropes of what we think about when we think about a climate movie or you think about a climate story. And so I'm sure there are people out there who will know better than me on this division, but I think of it in terms of both form and content, where we want to see all sorts of new types of climate stories that aren't just like the apocalypse or aren't just like the, kind of lone activist group raising up against the evil mining company,
Yeah.
which are like great stories, but again, they're so well trodden that oftentimes they're easy for people to kind of forget or not look deeply into. And so building, again, kind of building up like what are unexpected, what are new stories, what are new ways of interpreting and dealing with this whole thing that we're living through. And then also the content, right? There's so much that does matter about what uh is like truly the content of these films of getting the message out and getting the message out, especially like to the people who are working on climate during Climate Week and to a general audience. So it's kind of this combination and just again, even just creating a platform to bring stuff together. Like it's wild, based in New York. We are the largest environmental film festival in New York, and we just started. There was one. There was a Wild Film Festival for 10 years, really great. Nancy's founded it. She's on our board now. But like they shut down. And how are there not more environmental film festivals? It's wild. So
Oh no. Well, sounds like you got a really good project going, and so you're talking about these films that have like that kind of stereotypical, I guess, like apocalyptic vibe that kind of gets like washed over. What kind of film then really stands out to you?
yeah, I mean, listen, we love a little apocalypse sometime.
Yeah.
And also there are like other variants on that we have had some fun films. We had a whole block of uh we've had climate science fiction films in the past. We had a whole block of like eco horror films, which is slightly different, right? Like uh but then there are like more, I would say like optimistic or solutions oriented movies, right? That really do focus on like, here's what people are doing that uh does make a positive impact and can be really transformative, whether that's in regenerative agriculture or like scientists who are developing new things that you can do with kelp, from like new types of food to new types of like bioplastics and
Yeah.
all sorts of cool things there to just sort of solutions around the world. Um, so I think those are always really like interesting and we like to see more of those. We screened The Wild Robot, the big DreamWorks movie. Yeah.
Really? That's so cool.
So that was an awesome partnership. We worked with Universal. We did a little pre-release screening. We had NRDC there. And The Wild Robot is a big animated blockbuster film, but
Mhm.
environmental themes are just tied throughout. And so, like, is it a climate movie explicitly? Like, probably not. But when you show it at a place like a climate film festival, you're able to bring out those climate themes, right? And use something that is this major kind of cultural moment to have these conversations. While at the same time, you have movies that are focused on like, again, kind of here are solutions that are happening and people who are working on them. Here are other important stories to know about, right? And sometimes those stories are even just like, they are the traditional ones, but it's still important to hear about. Like there was a big mining project in Alaska that we had a few amazing films on that would have been absolutely devastating that like activism successfully stopped, right? And hearing those stories, I think, is also good when you have sometimes the and you we do program in a bit of the doom and gloom, like it's real, it's there, but it's not the only thing that you want to think about.
Definitely. Well, I wanted to know about like, so you said this was, what was the yearly date you said for this, the film festival again?
September. So last year we did September 19th through 21st, I think. And this year we're doing or we did the 20th to 22nd last year, and this year we're doing the 19th to 22nd. We're extending a day this year. One extra day.
Oh yeah. So is it going from 3 to 4 days?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. Is there any way for people like viewers who maybe like aren't in New York, can they find ways to view these films, access them, also feel a part of this climate film festival experience?
Yeah, so we didn't have an online program last year. We may have one this year. I think it is
Okay.
important to kind of share. I can't guarantee that we will get there. It's obviously a lot more work. One thing that we're really excited to build out is to take some of the model that we've done for these year-round programs, right, where you do a screening with an organization and make it a lot easier. So rather than making it easy for people to watch at home, I think what we want to do is make it easy for people in groups to do their own screenings.
Okay.
Because I think it's so powerful to have people in a room with you
Yeah.
watching these movies, and then to also have and set up a screening where you can have a conversation, right? Both with people who are on the panel and the people who are in the room. And that's what we would like to see more of and make more accessible. So I can't guarantee we may or may not have more online screening options available, but like we definitely are trying to make it easier for groups, whether those are like student groups or other nonprofits, uh, to yeah, just kind of pick up some of our films and like run a playbook and create their own events. Yeah,
And share and make their own kind of mini film festival.
exactly. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. We have little showings like that here in Cal Poly. Cal Poly does that sometimes. So we'll do a couple
Yeah,
showings of them a few days of the week, and it's really cool.
that's awesome. It's fun. It's fun to go see movies. I mean,
I loved
I'm
it.
biased, obviously.
Well, that's really amazing to hear. Thank you for your commitment to bringing this new cultural perspective and onto our like world and especially like New York. Um, is there something you're really looking forward to in the next few years other than growing this organization a little bit more?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think supporting more filmmakers and seeing more films, right? There's a little bit of a if you build it, will they come kind of question to this. And
Yeah.
I think what we've seen so far is the answer is kind of yeah, like it's there. It's there are other environmental film festivals out there. There aren't so many that, there is a slight difference between environmental and climate. I think there's a huge overlap. But
Hmm.
environmental films may still focus on kind of the natural world or biology in a way that doesn't necessarily talk to climate change. And climate films may focus on like urban environments or things that are less like environmental traditionally. Anyway, there are film festivals out there, but there aren't really that many. And so just by bringing people together and being like, this is a thing, this is something that is engaging that you can kind of explore. It doesn't have to fall into the tropes that you think of as filmmakers, right? And to open up that possibility of like, look at these interesting avenues and sometimes anxieties that you can go and apply your art to, right? Is something that we want to one foster and then do to see more of, right? I think I want to see more of this because I have my own, climate anxieties and curiosities and need for hope and seeing it on screen really does do that. So we've got a bunch that have been submitted. We had 320 last year. We've had I think 150 submissions to date so far. So we're on track. We're 50% more than last year already. But we still, yeah, I want to see more, more and more. And I want some that go beyond the film festival too, right?
Yeah. How many movies do you show, would you say, at each film festival?
So yeah, last year we showed 60. We'll probably do about the same this year.
Okay.
Most of them are shorts. We had 11 features and the rest were shorts.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're busy.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I'm happy. I've got the, if you've got more questions, if you want to, if we're all set, that's great. But if you've got more questions, I'm good till the half
um,
hour mark. Yeah.
I would say like the only thing I would ask you, and I've been asking everyone this from the incubation stations, what's the one thing you are most proud of that you have accomplished or done in this organization or in the feats you've accomplished?
Um, Gosh, I don't know.
It's a hard question. People have all been like, oh, like let me think about it. Yeah.
Uh, I don't think this is something that I'm proud of or that I can take pride in, but I think the thing that I have been most uh blown away by and impressed by uh are the number of people who want to help.
Oh,
And that's been just so incredible and inspiring. I think it is and that goes from like the volunteers. We have amazing volunteers, like could not do, like we're volunteers too, right? Like it's a volunteer run
yeah.
organization,
Mhm.
but like could not do this without everyone taking time away from their work and their friends and their life to come and help us put on this festival. And that, and everyone who's doing it is amazing, right? Like, and that itself is incredibly inspiring. And then beyond our volunteers, like we've had so much support from industry it's been really amazing to see, especially as relative newcomers, like to have, again, to do a screening with Universal and DreamWorks, to have we had a director of Netflix's Our Oceans come speak at our closing night award ceremony. And so to see that there's also just sort of like industry interest and support, even for a nascent festival like ours, is really amazing. And then there's so many incredible groups working again, like and kind of giving and paying it forward in the like climate storytelling and climate film space, like Good Energy and Rare and Hollywood Climate Summit, and they've just been great to work with. So yeah, everyone, I'm just thankful for everyone, I think. Yeah. And so it's not something I'm proud of, it's something I'm thankful for.
Well, then I would ask, how would you encourage more people to get involved?
At large,
I
uh,
mean, the climate, in the climate like environmentalist perspective or just in your film, how would you encourage them to feel involved with your organization or just the
yeah,
reaching?
I think at large, I would say for like climate and climate film both, it's
Mhm.
the sense that like it can be really overwhelming, right? And it's unclear, and especially like it feels oftentimes like you don't have any power, right? Like you can vote for things, but like, can you make a difference? And then you can do these sort of smaller individual actions, which matter, but are also small and individual. Like, what can you do? And I think that that sense of I don't have any levers can be really anxiety driving and draw us all down. But I think what I want people to take away, and this translates also to climate film, is like, no, there are always ways that you can work together, and they tend to be through community groups, right? It tends to be through collective action. It can be through your work, right? Like I moved my own work in software, and instead of doing software for digital media companies, I'm now doing software for companies that work in renewable energy, right? So there are different ways that you can move what you do. You can go volunteer, and then from a filmmaking perspective too, like we love filmmakers
Yeah.
and don't necessarily have to be a professional filmmaker to make a film, right? Like we've all got cameras, right? You can make a short, like you can make a TikTok, you can make a YouTube video. And that's an incredible way to get started and to explore whatever you want to say kind of about climate, how you feel about it, how you feel about it is valuable, and then to like start to dive into what we can do about it too. So yeah, that's my I don't know. That was not concise.
No, it was perfect.